Hello, Lawyer Nation. Welcome to another video from Warren Michaels Digital Marketing Company. Appreciate it. If you find these videos helpful, please take a minute to subscribe down below. Hit that subscribe button. Really helps me and keeps me going and putting out these videos. So today, for the Lawyer Nation, we are going to talk about how long does SEO take? Wow, what a complicated question that one is, right? So if I put on my fortune teller hat and crystal ball, and the crystal ball says 93 days, 6 hours, and 13 minutes. Okay, just joking. Seriously. There's no way that anybody can tell you, hey, I'll get you the first page in 1 day. I'll get you the first page in 90 days. I'll get you the first page, whenever, the number one spot. Especially if they promise you the number one spot. Man, that should be a huge red flag to you because there's just no guarantee that you'll hit that number one spot. So first page, yeah. So, but that number one spot is the coveted spot, right? So it's going to take a while based on several different factors. So let's get back to the original question for lawyer SEO, attorney SEO, law firm marketing, stuff like that. How long does SEO take? In other words, how long do I have to keep paying you guys until I get there, right? I mean, basically after month 2 or 3, you should see results, right? Are you going to hit page 1? Probably not in 2 or 3 months. Are you going to hit the number one spot? Sorry, I got something in my eye here. Probably not, right? It just, SEO doesn't take work that way. So from all the SEO experts and everything we've heard out there, including Google, there are over 200 ranking factors that decide how your website is ranked and your social media presence, right? So most people think it's just a website. It's not. It's your social media presence, directory, citations, backlinks. Like I said, there's over 200 different factors that Google looks at and calculates to determine who gets on that coveted first page, and obviously where the true money maker is at number 1 and number 2 spot, right? So 200 different ranking factors. So obviously, if I went over all 200 ranking factors that we know about, we would be here all night long and probably most of tomorrow. So since I know that doesn't work for you and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and hit on some basic, I think some of the most important. The list, obviously there will be a lot more. And if you have any thoughts or opinions, please share in the comments and let me know what you think as well. But with over 200 ranking factors at bay to determine who gets on that first page, let's go ahead and share some of the best ones, okay? So let's get back to the main question. How long does lawyer SEO take? Okay. Well, how old is your domain? Right? Are you a brand new lawyer, fresh out of law school, and you have a 1-month-old domain? Do you have a 12-month-old domain? Do you have a 10-year-old domain? So in other words, you've been practicing law for 10 years. Domain age, no matter what anybody tells you, is a huge ranking factor, right? So I think where a lot of people make a mistake or forget is, make no mistake, Google is a business, and they're there to satisfy their customers. So whether that be with search intent, but they want relevant search results. So if you find that car accident attorney near me, Google only wants to put up the proven up there, right? The ones that provide a lot of value on their website, has a good domain age. In other words, I don't know if I've ever seen, in the entire time I've been doing this, somebody with less than a 1-year-old domain in the number 1 spot. Okay. The couple of times I've seen it has been more in the construction industry, and there was little to no competition. In other words, there was a town of maybe 1,000 people. So now we get into the second part. the geographic area. So are you trying to compete for the #1 spot or first page in city of Houston, New York, LA? Or are you in a town of 5,000 people, 10,000 people, 50,000 people? Okay. And then let's take that even one step further. Competition. Okay. So in a city like Houston of 8 million people, plenty of lawyers to go around, right? There's definitely no shortage. So the competition is steep. It also happens to be, from what I've heard from another attorney, #1 accident city in America. So when it comes to personal injury and car accidents, apparently Houston is one of the top spots there, if not the top spot. So lots of PI guys and stuff like that are in Houston, right? So now let's take a town, I don't know, Terre Haute, Indiana, right? I don't know what the population is, 100,000 maybe, 50,000, somewhere around there. Maybe there's only 3 lawyers in the town. And maybe all 3 lawyers, one does bankruptcy, one does divorces, and the other one's a criminal attorney. Okay, well, now you're not competing against each other because you each have a separate segment of the areas of practice of law, right? So that's a huge ranking factor. How much competition is in your area, and how much do you have to improve and beat them above and beyond, right? So geographic area, domain age. So the longer that domain is, the more trust you have. Again, just like I'm kind of repeating myself here, but remember, Google is a business, and they're looking for the most relevant, high-value sites to offer to their customers. So when that customer goes to Google and searches, divorce attorney, they want to find the most relevant result for that customer. Okay. Size of the area, size of the city. So we talked about that. How much competition? We just got done talking about that as well, right? Kind of grouped it all into domain age, but that really, really matters, guys and gals, because if you have 20 to 100 different guys, okay, well, now you have to do everything they do, but better, right? So stuff like that. Okay, backlinks. Okay, so I'm going to do a whole separate video on backlinks, but I'm going to give you a short little taste here. Backlinks matter, and they will, as much as you hear content is king, which is 100% true, couldn't be more true. Backlinks are still a huge portion of that ranking factor, right? So for those of you that don't know what a backlink is, it's one site linking to another site and kind of giving it a vote. In other words, it's very important. Where I see a lot of lawyers, attorneys, and law firms making a mistake is it's not relevant, right? So they're non-relevant backlinks. So if you're getting backlinks from Walmart, I'm just making something up, right? Does that really have anything to do at all with the legal profession? Not at all. It'd be more like an e-commerce or a shopping site, right? So yes, you have a backlink, and yes, Google will give you a little bit of relevance, or not relevance, but juice for that, but it's not a relevant backlink. And I think that's where the biggest people are making the mistakes right now. So I'm not going to get into that because we're going to shoot another video, but your backlinks, the quality of your backlinks and the relevance, okay? Next is citations. So what is a citation? A citation, I'll be doing a separate video on that as well, is Yellow Pages, Chamber of Commerce, stuff like that, right? So these outside third-party directories and resources, Better Business Bureau, stuff like that, right? They all give backlinks. So, but citations are, you're getting listed in other directories, and that tells Google, oh, okay, this guy's on this site, she's on this site, he's on this site, and it gives you more credibility, right? So how many citations do you have? How many backlinks do you have? That's a major factor, right? If you don't have the foundation set for your website, Google. So they have put this on hold, although I hear a bunch of SEOs still trying to scare everybody on the site speed. Google announced in December of 2021 that they're going to put the site speed ranking on hold. However, that they're still using that as one of the ranking factors. So it was going to go from, I don't even know if the word minor would be the correct term to use, as far as page speed and how fast your website loads, up to a major ranking factor. In other words, the mobile first, right? Does your site load fast on a mobile phone, on a tablet, stuff like that? If it does not, okay, well, maybe you built your site on one of them drag and drop builders, right? So I prefer WordPress. I don't build any websites at all unless it's in WordPress. I don't use Wix. I don't use GoDaddy. Although GoDaddy does have some WordPress websites, I'm just not impressed with their hosting, right? The speed of their hosting. So same with the other ones, but there are much more professional server companies out there, hosting companies that can do your website a lot more justice as far as speed goes. So that's one of them. Directory citations, we talked about that. Content. Man, oh man, is this important for you guys and gals, everybody in the Lawyer Nation. And quite honestly, even if you're not a lawyer, content is king, right? So is your content relevant? Is it engaging? Is it answering the consumer's intent? So are they just researching? Or are they ready to buy? Are they just looking for information, right? So which one of them, transactional keywords, right, is your content written for? Are you trying to engage your customer? Are you giving them information? What if they're there to complete a transaction with you? In other words, they're ready to hit that contact form. Do you have call to actions on your website that will immediately take them? In other words, they don't have to scroll all the way to the bottom of the page to get to the contact form or a way to contact you. Is your phone number on your website clickable? Stuff like that, right? So that's a huge ranking factor because it's more about the user experience. Again, Google wants the best user experience at the end of the day for that consumer, for their customer. So content will continue to be king, and I think it's even more important in 2022 and as we go forward because Google's algorithms and robots are getting much better at deciphering user intent. In other words, is this consumer looking for just information and research? Are they looking to commit to a transaction? In other words, they're ready to purchase, or again, just researching. So based on the words that the consumer puts into the search bar, Google can determine, after years and years of being a search engine, of which direction that they're looking for. And then they're going to rank the website based on that. So keep that in mind as you're doing content as well. And that's a little gold nugget for you right there. So linking. Okay, very, very important. Are you linking your pages on your website to each other? And is the linking relevant? So, my website, so it's web design, right? Am I linking to the web design page from the home page and vice versa? Any other pages that may talk about web design? External linking. Do you have other sites outside your website linking into your website, right? So kind of like the backlinks and stuff like that. Citations, the directories, all sorts of different links out there that are available to be had. And that's very, very important ranking factor. So that. The last thing that I don't hear too often and don't hear too much talk about is schema. And that is a huge, just based on my experience, that's a huge ranking factor. So schema is code, makes your website really easy for the Google robots to read and what it is exactly about, right? So schema is a huge thing, I think, for 2022 that will definitely benefit you and your website if you don't have it already. So very, very important. And there are different levels of schema. You can have the basic schema all the way up to super advanced schema. In some websites, so you ask what is schema, you could Google it. So it's spelled SCHEMA. But when you Google, let's say, car accident attorney near me, pops up and you see a lawyer's law firm along with that little paragraph or a little description, right? The first one's your site title, next one's your metadata, which are also ranking factors. And then down below that, you'll see like about us, contact us, a certain page, call now, whatever. But there's like, they get twice as much space as the other people on that same page. That's advanced schema. So if your website doesn't have that, I think you're cheating yourself drastically as well for 2022. So these are just obviously a couple of the 200 things. So like I said, I'm not going to keep you here till tomorrow afternoon going all over 200 things. So the question of the day was, how long does SEO take? Okay. There is no good answer, right? So here's what I can tell you after a decade of experience is this. Within the first 90 days, you're going to start to see improvement. You're going to see the reports from the third-party sources and stuff like that. If you're not getting reports and transparency through your current SEO company, obviously I can't tell you to breach a contract or anything like that, but I would consider some options, right? At least look around. So number two, the reports, make sure they're coming from third-party sources, that it just isn't some kind of Word document that this guy whipped up with, stuff like that. There's plenty of software programs out there that will give us information. Google Search Console, SEMrush, Ahrefs, Moz. I mean, I go on and on. There's no shortage programs out there that we have to pay for on a monthly basis to give us that data, right? So just make sure you're getting that data and stuff like that. But I would say 90 days, 4 months, you should start to see, improvement, your keywords, stuff like that. Are you going to hit the first page? Again, I doubt it. It really depends on the competition. Fastest I've ever hit first page for somebody was 4 months, but it was a little town. So now we're talking about 30,000 people. He only had 4 or 5 other guys in that town, and it was very, very easy to rank for. So I went with a couple low-hanging fruit keywords, got them ranked number 1, and then went after the money keywords and ranked it that way, right? So, and I think that's how most SEOs attack it and attack the plan. So, so to answer the question, how long does SEO take? There's just so many other factors that there's no way anybody can promise you a timeline. If anybody starts promising you a timeline of 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, whatever that may be, it should be a red flag. See if they'll put it in writing. See if they offer you a money-back guarantee on that. Because if they put their money where their mouth is, then I guess, shoot, that might do it too, I guess. Just hopefully they don't mess up your SEO, right? So, but there is no short answer or perfect answer to that question. How long does SEO take? Because everybody's a little bit different. Your location, how long have you been around? What has been done? What hasn't been done? What do we need to get done? And more importantly than that, everybody has a budget for SEO, right? So with your budget, are we crawling, walking, or running? Right? So the bigger the budget, the more you can do, the faster. The smaller the budget, we got to go a little bit slower and do things at a time, because obviously we need to make money as well, just as yourself. So hopefully that was informative for you and answered the question, at least give you some things to put in the back of your head. So when you are interviewing great SEO agencies to watch out for, and if they're promising you deadline or certain times and stuff like that, you get that email, be on Google's first page in 90 days, first day, whatever. It's nonsense. So just make sure you hire the right guy. They're promising you the right things. They're giving you the third-party facts and evidence and their monthly reports and stuff like that. And again, thank you for watching my video. Please take a minute to hit the subscribe button if you found this helpful. I really do appreciate it. Feel free to leave a comment if you think I forgot anything and left anything out. Always open to feedback. And again, if you need anything from Warren Michaels Digital Marketing Company, free SEO audit, you want a free second opinion, just need to have a 10 or 15 minute conversation, give me a call, 832-694-1145. That's 832-694-1145. Thank you. Bye.